gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Are you ready to pop your cork? In the left corner is 6'4", 242 pounds, with a record of 45-0, the undisputed.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Will.
Hey, how many bottles of wine have you had?
Well, Will, it's not the wine. I'm just so excited about the podcast.
Yeah, I am too. This is not a boxing match. This is We Know Texas Vino.
Salute.
Hey everyone, welcome back to We Know Texas Vino and the second day of our Twigga show. So I got some good news and even better news. Now, the good news is there is a lot of good interviews in this episode. The even better news is, well, there was so much content, I needed to actually make it into a second episode. I do not want to go into any further what's in this second episode, but you'll just have to wait and listen when it comes out. So, what I would like for y'all to do is grab a glass of your favorite Texas wine and enjoy. Now, since we are breaking this into a two-parter, I'm going to give y'all a quote of the week right now. Penicillin cures, but wine makes people happy. And then where there is no wine, there is no love. Enjoy this episode and cheers.
We are. All right.
Welcome.
Now you can say welcome.
Now I can say welcome. Now we are live.
Welcome back, everybody.
Twigga.
Yes.
Howdy.
And so we are now at our next bottle.
What time? It's 10:27.
I said every 30 minutes, did I not?
You said it. Oh my God.
So we have a great opportunity. First off, have Anthony from 4R Winery sitting here with us. And as a lot of y'all know, that he is the winemaker at 4R. He is an amazing winemaker out there.
Thank you.
And wow, you're actually. I expect you to be modest. Oh, don't say that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
But Anthony is an amazing guy. We've had him on the show a couple times, and just to talk to him, and he's very quiet and soft spoken. But you know what, his talents speak very loud and very volume in what he does. So we got an opportunity to have him here with us to taste out this new RK wine. That it's not even out right now.
No, it's a 22.
But yeah, he just bottled it. It's not up for sale yet, so he's supposed to put it up for sale like here in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month. So Andy, can you tell everybody what we got right now?
What we got right now, as he says, is Precedence. RK's Precedence. It's a 2022 vintage. It is Montague County, 74% Roussanne, 18% Marsanne, and 8% Viognier. 127 cases produced. That means it's going to go fast. The acidity level, and it's also aged Surly. Surly, of course, means that it's sat on the yeast. And I don't know if it had batonnage or not, but I would imagine it had some, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
And wow, I'm actually really digging on this. I haven't seen a lot of Viogniers lately.
Yeah.
And so now the new thing is the Roussanne, Marsanne, Viognier gig.
It's a classic blend.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is an amazing little drink. I mean, this is one right here that it could be hot outside, and you can sit on the porch swing and just drink it all day long.
Like I like to call them patio pounders, Anthony.
Well, it's nice for brunch too.
It is. It would be definitely with some brunch with some pineapple, some apples and stuff. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on? What are you getting off of this?
I'm getting off of this right away. Man, the nose. First things first. Wow, look at all that floral.
Yeah, it's very floral.
It has all the best qualities of all three grapes. Just blended perfectly together. It's creamy. It's got great acidity. It's wonderful.
Wow.
I taste. Yeah. I'm not a big honeydew melon fan, but I definitely get a taste of a little honeydew off of it.
Honeydew. Okay.
You can. The longer you sit and smell it and taste it, you can find lots of fruit, tropical fruits, rich pears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pear, it's a Bartlett. I'm going to say it's a ripe Bartlett pear versus the Anjou or one of the other pears. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Grayson he was our second or third episode that we've done, and I've yet to have a wine from him that I did not enjoy.
He takes a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, he does. And he's the only winery that I've actually only drank a Chardonnay from, too.
Well, there's not many that you can drink Chardonnay from, but that's his true baby right there.
Yeah, it is. And what he does out there is so amazing. If y'all have not been out to RK Winery, y'all need to go check it out. He is actually north of St. Joe. Go out there and check them out. They're open on, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or is it just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
He may be open on Thursday also.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
And as Will said, this is in St. Joe. It's north of Highway 82 up around, if you're familiar with Munster. You can find this place. And the other thing about this place is this particular wine, I should say, is estate grown.
Yes.
Estate grown and estate produced. So it is technically an estate wine, but it does not say it on the bottle. But it is, could be said that. And it's a Texoma AVA.
Yes. So, Anthony, we appreciate you being on here.
Thank you, sir. Always a pleasure.
So what's coming up for 4R in the next couple of months?
Oh,
that you could talk about.
Well,
we don't want to get Nicole upset.
By Easter, we're going to be releasing our rosé.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
23 rosé.
Really? What kind of?
That's a grape.
Oh, it's a blend. It's got a lot of Malbec Saunier in it. It's got some Sauv Blanc in it. It's got a little bit of a couple other reds just to help add some tannins and just to kind of balance it out.
Okay. Nice.
It's bright and crisp and refreshing. It's really good.
Can we expect that release?
Before Easter.
Before Easter, which is on the 30th.
I think so.
Yeah, of March.
We have to check that out.
30th of March.
Yeah, I can't wait. That'd be awesome.
What else? What's happening this summer?
Oh, well, some other things we're doing this year are some small batch series wines. The first one of those will be Cab Franc, Texas.
Oh, wow. I love Cab Franc.
We're going to do a series of small bottlings. I'm not going to tell you all of them, but the first one's going to be Cab Franc.
Awesome.
Cool.
So we're going to have to actually come out there and find out.
Yeah.
So
I guess another northern road trip.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So, well, Anthony, I appreciate it again for coming on here. You know, always when you're on our show, it's always an honor and a blessing because you're a very soft-spoken man, but your actions speaks volumes.
Appreciate
Well
that.
said. Well said.
So, Marcelo, I'll let you get back to what you're doing. Again,
thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Busy day.
Actually,
Thanks.
live right now. So, hey everybody, welcome back to another 30-minute broadcast of We Know Texas Vino, and we actually have two probably the most esteemed people. Bob, don't be modest. You know that.
So funny.
So first off, you always hear about the. Well, hold on. Let me tell you this story right quick. So you've heard the elusive chupacabra or Bigfoot. You can't ever find them. Well, that's like Bob Landon. We've been trying to get him on this episode, and we can't find him. He always he's gone somewhere.
And my wife really is here. She's upstairs showering. You're going to meet her soon.
Okay. So we actually found the elusive Bob Landon, and we got him to sit down with us. How great is that? And then
You know what it was. You offered a glass of wine.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
I always pop a cork around you.
Wasn't it me?
Come on.
Oh, come on.
That's what I meant to say.
And then we have Amit. I'm not going to try to destroy your last name. Can you say your last name for
Dingra.
us? Dingra.
Yes.
Okay. So Bob Landon, as everybody knows, he is from Landon Winery. He is the owner and the chief of the wine stuff and opener of multiple locations in one day and however else you want to call him. Makes some of the greatest wines that I've drank. And actually, that's where I cut my teeth in the wine industry is drinking your wine.
Right.
You know my story.
Yep.
So, and then we have Amit here, who is actually from Texas A&M University, who is actually over the viticulture or
No,
horticulture.
I'm the department head for horticultural sciences and viticulture and enology
Awesome.
is one
Yeah.
of the 5 sectors
Awesome.
that we have representing the Texas in the horticulture industry.
Okay, awesome. So, and here's what's great is we got a case of wine from the Texas Wine Club, and just so happens in that box was a bottle of Texas A&M wine. Evermore. Now, there's no information on this, so can you tell us something about this?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, before you start, I'm going to tell you that I'm really digging on this. It is a 2019. I presume it's from the Hill Country.
It is from the Hill Country area, Fredericksburg area, and I can actually give you all the details. It's actually grown at our AgriLife Extension site, which is the Viticulture and Fruit Lab based in Fredericksburg. It's what do you think it tastes like?
Well, first thing, I'm looking at the color.
Yeah.
And it's amazingly... It's
really dark, yeah.
Very dark.
So
Very dark.
My guess was going to be something like Syrah, Tannat, something with a really dark skin, maybe potentially even... No, I was going to say maybe even Malbec, but I don't
Sure.
think so.
What I'm going to tell you is blow your mind, first of all.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So this
Wait a
is...
minute, Bob, can you guess what it is?
Oh,
no,
of course.
because the color is dark, but it's not purple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Very reddish.
Yeah.
Very reddish.
Brickish.
Brickish.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
So the winemaker is Brianna Crowley. She is our program specialist based in that lab, and this wine is made from 2 different numbered varietals that were released by Andrew Walker from UC Davis.
This is a Walker?
Wow.
These are Walker varietals, and this.
Bob is shocked.
I am shocked.
So they are the 2 numbered wines are 35 and 38. These are the ones. So it's a 50-50 blend of 35 and 38.
And they're both British vinifera.
They are, and both are 87% vinifera. That's the best part. So this is where it blows your mind that we are so accustomed to drinking this vinifera mindset, but Texas, we can do our own things. And of course, this is a proof of concept wine to make sure that these wines we can grow them very well. We can produce good grapes, which you can see already. So the 35 is about 50% Cab Sauv.
What?
Yes.
I
And
would never got that.
Fredericksburg.
Okay.
Hold on. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
38 is more than 50% Chardonnay.
No.
Well, that's what
I wanted you to give me some grapes to prove this.
I will do that.
That's fascinating.
That is fascinating.
The color does come from a Rhone varietal that is in one of the parents in 38. So this is such a blend, and of course, to me, it drinks more like a cab.
Yes.
It's full-bodied. You've got those,
Like a Bordeaux,
yeah,
actually.
Bordeaux, yeah. So
Yeah.
again, credit to Brianna. She's done a great job with this, and this Evermore name. Do you know where this is inspired from?
The Foo Fighter song?
No, no.
The
Second guess.
Grape Evermore. I would say something to do with the varietal, I would imagine.
Somebody was saying it's Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
But it's
I heard
not.
that
It's-
one too.
it's-
No, that was you saying that.
Well,
Yeah,
You
somebody.
could sell a lot of wine if you said that.
I think
Well,
we just did.
that's-
say that.
You just did it. Yeah.
well, Texas
and
wine.
there it goes off the shelf.
Yeah. Well, the big part is it's a song, "My Love Forevermore." That was the inspiration, and it's from Hillbilly Moon Explosion. That's the band.
Oh.
So Bree,
Interesting.
Bree was inspired to name it Evermore based on even before Taylor Swift,
So what
was.
leaf is this?
This would be, I think, the 5th leaf. I'll have
Wow.
to double check with Bree. She didn't provide me that information.
Nice.
But look, I mean, this is really
That's
well-
really great. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
now that you said what was in it, I can actually taste the Cab Sauv now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy how when you say something like that, then you can all of a sudden like, oh, I can now taste that. Like for example, we were doing a tasting the other day, and we were drinking a Tempranillo from Chris McIntosh, and I love the smell of the sawdust that I was smelling out of it. And then somebody named Jason, Bob,
My winemaker.
he goes, I smell DEET. And immediately my palate changed. I couldn't smell the sawdust anymore, and I smelled DEET, and I'm like, I hate you, Jason.
It's the power of suggestion. It's the power of suggestion.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
you can smell something, but you can't place it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. So
So,
So I
Bob,
would
what do you
li-
think about that? Yes.
I like it. I was going to ask what red grape was blended with the Chardonnay. What
Well,
cross?
it was not blended, so
Sorry.
it's a Rhone varietal, Rhone
which
red. I
one?
don't know which one that is. Yeah,
Interesting.
Just
So
the parent.
it's the parent. So
Yeah.
basically, the
What's the
ink
number
color
again?
38. It's the Andy Walker numbered varietal, and they were. I think this was planted here as a test varietal to see if it works here. But at the time, California growers were growing, but this fruit and viticulture lab was growing it before anybody else had access to it, just to be able to try
How
these
many
things
people
out.
have planted this now? Because I've been hearing during the conference. people
Well,
talking
I think the
about
Walker varietals are becoming more and more planted, but I don't know how many have. This is information we can definitely gather for you.
So I'm just going to tell you right now, you've already talked about this. Bob is already thinking about this next double gold.
Yeah. Is it?
it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, how does it yield? Is it a good yielder?
I think it's a good yielder as well. It grows all of the Walker varietals, as I've learned from my colleagues who have been planting and trying these things out. They're rigorous. They grow very well in this area, and of course they're PD tolerant,
Right.
resistant. Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of it at the Gulf Coast. That's where I hear
Yeah.
people talking about
Yeah.
it. Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is really amazing. I mean, I was kind of shocked by it when you saw what the grapes were on it or the varietal that was on it. But I mean, it makes me want to have another piece of steak
No,
now.
That's really
You
good.
named, you got it with brick.
Yeah.
Just a little brick color.
So Bob, tell us what's going on in your world now.
Oh, my lands. Working on our newest location, number 7, up in Gainesville, just up the road here.
Yep. Well, I've heard about it.
Yep. And then, of course, the big purchase of the land,
Yep.
100 acres up in the Red River.
Yep.
We have a half a mile of the Red River, and it's going to be very interesting. Work with Michael Cook, of course, right? Make sure because I preach it all the time. I tell people they're going to plant a vineyard and they're going to open a winery. I said, you need to call Texas A&M and do what they say to do.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. So I thought,
Thank
I've
you.
been telling my kids, I said, now I need to do it. I need to, because he's already told me I can't do olives. He's already like telling me some things I can't do, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to listen to him. So I'm going to plant what he tells me to plant.
Well, thank you for saying that. I know because we just tabulated how much travel my colleagues have done collectively across the state in the last 9 years.
Yeah.
They have gone around the Earth's circumference 35 and a half times.
Holy cow.
gosh.
Collectively.
So, okay, so I'm just going to throw this out there. So, how many of your guys have Teslas now?
You couldn't charge him in West Texas.
Well, that's the challenge. Or the big part is the extreme weather conditions and road conditions they have to be at. So I think that's the boots on the ground approach.
Yes.
And I also,
Oh, yeah.
in the last 9 years, we also calculated number of hours they've met with all the industry.
Yep.
It's amazing. They have actually been packaging about 15 years worth of work in these last 9 years. We collectively calculated that.
Holy cow.
So that's amazing, and they've completed 60 applied projects. That means they've worked with 60 vineyards, operations, wineries, and 50 are currently ongoing. So that's a massive amount of work, and we are grateful for the partnership because our relevance comes from this opportunity to collaborate and work together.
So, out of curiosity, and if you don't have these numbers, you don't have to tell us, but how many tonnage of grapes has Texas produced in the last year, 2 years?
I might not know that. Bob might know that.
I don't. This last year was really high, but we had 3 years before that where it was really bad. So I don't know the numbers, but I know last year for us and for everybody I've talked to was really nice.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
But it's hard, right? Because I'm not a grower. I know I'm getting ready to be one. And I hear things like that, and it just scares the crap out of me.
It's scary. I will tell you.
You know, when I take my class over at Grayson, Andy says, he tries to take the romance out of winemaking and grape growing. Because,
It's true.
it's kind of funny how some people get in because they hear all the romance and all of that.
And
And
they
there's,
sit around and do this.
Yeah.
They're drinking wine. They're like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to plant Chardonnay in my backyard.
No.
Yeah.
and then when they try to do it, they realize, we ain't going to do this.
And I think that's part of the big deal is that my colleagues across the state are really helping with trials and finding the right connection with the terroir. The genetics has to match the environment for optimal outputs.
Yeah.
Rootstock, everything.
Yep.
Rootstock,
There's
scion.
so much knowledge, right? Use the people that have the knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's all Texas A&M does.
Yes, we generate. And also, in addition, we really champion the industry as well. And this might be a good time to say about the program we started about 2 years ago. We call it Spirited Learning. And Bob, hopefully you will sign up on a date soon. What we're trying to do is we are trying to educate our own population that we have an amazing horticulture industry, wine industry, and which has grown up to $21 billion impact on the state. So I think this is a really, and it increases other things, agritourism. It really breeds a whole economy, right? So, and it brings community together. So at A&M, we're bringing people around together around this concept. And we've been able to feature 24 businesses related to horticulture, wineries, and pecans. And we're bringing the 21st of March, we will have a ornamental plant nursery along with Pedronella Cellars. So we're really excited about these. And the attendees, 70 to 80% of them are students from over 70 majors represented across the university.
Wow.
So before we go and tell rest of the world outside of Texas, let's start at home.
Right.
And
Yes. Yeah. We need to focus on Texas because we are a
absolutely.
huge state.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people here, and there's still a lot of land.
And there are amazing jobs waiting for students who don't even know that these type of jobs exist. So that's where when you come to an event like that, interact with students from, say, engineering or data analytics, they can say, we need all this.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Michael McClendon, he was a student of biology, and then he was tagging turtles, he says. And he says, I didn't like this, and so somebody invited him to do something at a vineyard. He says, whoa, and now that's where he is.
Yeah. I'm just going to say tagging turtles. I wonder if they put one of those Apple AirPods.
Now they can do that, definitely.
AirTags, So, but gentlemen, it's been an honor for you sitting here. Bob,
Wonderful.
we're going to have to get you down again, like a full episode.
Sure.
Sure.
You can even come with your entourage.
Yeah.
tour.
You know Kim and Jason and Marissa.
You want the fun people. They don't really want.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we do. I'm just saying if that will help you want to do this.
Oh, man.
And it doesn't have to happen at one of your wineries, quite frankly. It can happen wherever you want us to go.
Yeah, we come to your house.
Is it video as well?
Oh, no, it's just all audio.
It's just audio.
We're doing video here because, this is something we say we would do with Twigga and stuff because we want people to see the faces of Texas wine industry.
I'll say it'd be cool if you had video because you do it in the barrel room or someplace cool.
If you want us to do that, we can do we can do that.
Do whatever.
Yeah, I'm open for anything.
In fact, that would be a good idea to go to Grape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Big one.
what get with Kim.
Yep.
Kim will get with me, and let's schedule it. Like, seriously, in the next couple
I'm
weeks.
a really good delegator.
I know you are.
And I was going to say you're invited to one of our spirit learning events or all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Come and see what the excitement is in the younger generation for what we do. People take pride.
I've been quoting you. I love what you're doing down there. I just
Thank
think
you.
it's so smart.
Well,
Exposing people.
I'm actually becoming a winemaker and
Would love to host you.
Yeah, so I'm learning all this stuff.
Sure.
So I've taken what Jason has said. In fact, Jason actually tasted one of my wines.
Oh, he did?
Yes. And
That's
I
great.
actually
Did you ask for honest feedback?
Yeah.
He'll give you honest.
I
He
did.
didn't want it.
I didn't want it, but I got
made
it.
him take
But
it.
honestly, I'm very cynical of my own personal stuff.
Oh, everybody's critical
I'm
of their
very.
own stuff.
I mean,
Yes.
like even my website. I finally, for once in my life, I actually built a website of my own personal stuff, and I'm actually really happy with it.
I am too.
Really happy with it.
Good.
It took a kick in the ass. I mean,
But I mean,
Damn it.
I had Jason and Marissa taste it, and the feedback they gave me actually got me really excited with joy, like those tears of joy. When
Yeah.
you're like somebody gives you the best
He was
positive
freaking
feedback.
out.
Yeah.
it was good.
Well, we feature all sizes of businesses. We've had large wineries. We've been very grateful. Dr. Becker came with Becker Vineyards. Of course, Messina Hoff, they were one of our first features. Carroll Hills. William Chris. You can name all these different. Of course, we had from your region, Chuck. As well as Roxanne came from Lost Oak. So we are trying to feature. And then we have some up-and-coming wineries who have one product for right now. So then we combine them. And then when we're co-featuring other businesses, like in January, we had 2 wineries from the Fredericksburg area, but we also featured a pecan business.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is we really want to educate our people about horticulture. People have forgotten that all fruits, vegetables, nuts, wine, coffee, tea, produce, it's all horticulture.
Yeah,
Yes,
We've forgotten
all of it
that.
is, yeah.
That's where it
And it's all
starts.
for,
Yeah.
So, gentlemen,
Well, thank you for doing
thank
this.
you for
Yeah,
having
thank you
us.
very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for
It's been an
showing up.
honor to have both y'all sitting here at
My
the
pleasure.
exact same time.
It's my honor to sit
No, you're
next
so
to
funny. Pleasure's mine. This is great, and thank you for the wine.
Thank you.
thank you.
Very much.
Fast.
Thank you.
And guys, try anything we got up here. All this is from all Texas stuff. This is 100%
Sure.
Texas fruit.
Sure.
So this is nothing California. It's all 100% Texas. So we're going to be doing this all day. We have 18 bottles we have to get opened up and share today.
And I just brought another one.
I know. So we got 19 now.
All right.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with another
Bottle. Yeah.
and bottle.
Wonderful.
You're up.
Okay, everybody, welcome back again. So we are going to be cruising hardcore today. This is a freight train running every 30 minutes here, and we're going to be pouring a whole bunch of wine, letting everybody taste. But we have a special guest that came up, and he literally demanded us to be on here. Now, when someone demands us like that, obviously we say yes, because obviously there's a reason why he wants to be on here.
Well, I don't know. Y'all tackled me as I was walking by, so I'm not,
Are you sure? Are you sure? Was that Andy that tackled you? Because if that was, I might have
Must have
talked to him.
He is a Villarreal, so that caught my
Yes.
attention. And he's probably Jesus Villarreal, actually. But,
that was my dad, but yeah, that's me too.
yeah, because I'm Carlos Andres, but I go by Andy. So,
Okay.
I'm Will Donahue. I'm just Irish. So, Jesse,
Yes,
you came by yesterday and you gave us this bottle and you said, "Hey, we want to be on an episode, just a quick episode to talk about your wine."
Sure.
And so, tell us just a little thing about your winery. Just like a little, maybe 2 or 3 little minute, if you can.
Okay, we're Whisper Path Cellars. We're located in San Antonio. It's a urban winery, but it is a true winery. So we source grapes from the high plains, from the Texas Hill Country. We bring them in and we completely process them from grape to bottle there on site. We've opened up a little tasting area in the winery itself. We just started doing this last April. and it's a very small area, but we do tastings by appointment only, and it's really great because I do just about all the tastings. So I get to talk to people about how the wine is made, and show them the equipment and the tanks and the barrels and everything else that we use in the winemaking.
That is awesome. So tell us what you brought to us to try today.
Okay, so this is our 2020 Belle Melange. It is a Rhone blend of Viognier and Roussanne. It's mostly Roussanne, I think 71%.
71%, and it's Crooked Post Vineyard from the Texas High Plains Vineyard.
Yes, great family, the Fangman family up there in New Home. We've been working with them for a number of years, and we get both our Viognier and our Roussanne from that vineyard.
Nice. You know, I will say, just taking a little whiff of it.
Mm-hmm. How about those floral notes again?
Man, oh, those floral notes. And you know what? Viognier, to me, in my experience recently, is that Viognier is very known for that floral. I mean, it's just such a great smell. I get like a little honeysuckle.
Yes, absolutely.
I remember as a kid going to the honeysuckle tree, pulling the honeysuckles off.
Yeah. You know, Jesse, I think this is fascinating because the Roussanne is not very known for its aromatics.
Right.
So, is that why y'all did this?
That is why we did it. Well, that was one of the reasons we did it. 2019, at the end of that harvest season, was a very difficult year. They had a very hard freeze at the Halloween freeze
the
in
2019.
Yeah. Yes. And so that affected grapes for the next few years. But in 2020, yields were way down. Mm-hmm. We typically do a single varietal single varietal Viognier and a single varietal Roussanne. In this case, yields were down, so we had the opportunity to combine the two grapes. It is a classic Rhone blend, so we knew it would work, and it seemed to work real well for us. I think I keep saying Riesling because for the first time this past year, we were able to get Riesling grapes, and we're making a dry Riesling, and I was talking to some people about it a little while ago, and it's going to be something special.
So what's the chances of us getting one of those? Trying those?
Well, those will be probably bottled within the next 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
So they're still in tanks right now.
San Antonio sounds like a place to go do an interview.
Yeah, I think we need to go to San Antonio just to have some wines and some tacos.
Oh, you're absolutely.
You know what? We could go Fiesta.
Absolutely. In fact, we're going to be doing an event during Fiesta.
I don't know. The last time I went to Fiesta,
you don't remember it?
I don't remember it. That's why I said that the last time I went to Fiesta, I remember showing up, but I don't remember leaving.
Right.
Maybe it was in the squad car. No.
We're going to be doing an event during King William Fair during Fiesta. It's a great event, my favorite event during Fiesta, and we'll have a booth there and be promoting our wines.
Well, one question back to you about your winery. So, Whisper Path, is there a reason for the name?
You know, I used to have this story. You know, they always tell you if you have a winery, you've got to have a great story. And I would tell this huge, elaborate story, but none of it was true. And so the truth of the matter is when I started making wine about 25 years ago in my garage, it was in my garage on Whisper Path. That was the name of the
seriously?
street. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's kind of a cool name, so we stuck with it, and that's the name of the winery.
That is fantastic. I mean, that's that's a Steve Jobs kind of story. Started from the garage.
Right.
Will is making wine, as he says, and who knows? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we may be interviewing him instead of him interviewing you.
Yeah. All right.
You said 5 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like 2 and 3. Well, so I'm the type of guy that so I've been in IT for 23 years. Okay, I have no degrees, no certifications, never have any formal training. Everything I've done is hands-on. I'm actually going to Grayson right now, and I love what Andy's doing and stuff. But I listening to him and all that, reading and stuff, I can do that all day long. But I don't learn until I put my hands on it.
Yeah, hands-on.
And that's where I learn everything. And so my goal this year is to actually purchase several tanks, which I've got 2 already lined up, 2 300-liter tanks that I'm going to possibly purchase. I know 1 for sure, 2 possibly. And then I've already was told that I can have some grapes. I just had to come and hand harvest those. I can't get them machine harvest. I have to hand harvest. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Just make sure you wear gloves so I don't cut my finger again.
Right.
And then between now and then, I am going to be buying all the tartaric acid and SO2 stuff, everything that I need to produce this wine. And I'm going to have 2 varietals and a blend. We're going to see what happens.
There you go.
What's the worst that can happen? It's undrinkable.
That can happen.
And then I just let it age for like 10 years and then let everybody try it again, and then it's drinkable.
So So you were mentioning your Riesling, Jesse. What other things are you real proud of up there? Down there.
Okay, so we do every year we do a Tempranillo. Tempranillo and Viognier kind of our every year wines.
Okay.
We'll always do those. We've done Morvet in the past. We didn't do that this past year, but we also started getting more into Italian varieties. So we have a Sangiovese that we harvested the last couple of years. This past year we did a Dolcetto, nice. And we always do a Montepulciano. That's another annual wine that we'll always produce.
So it sounds like you really love that part of the world, the Rhone, and then
the Rhone region, and also the Italian grapes. We're finding in Texas that Texas loves Italian grapes, and
do you
likewise.
grow any of your own?
We don't. We're not a vineyard. We're urban winery. However, stay tuned because we may be we're moving toward a facility most likely in the Bulverde area.
Oh, okay. That's a nice little area over there. I actually lived in San Antonio for the longest time.
Okay.
So I lived in Bernie, and then my mom and my stepdad was stationed at Lackland Air Force Base.
Okay.
So my little stomping ground was actually over there off the Babcock and Medical Road.
Right, know the area.
Yeah. So that was my stomping ground in the 90s. Now,
90s.
Yeah. Shh.
Last century.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I love San Antonio area, and anytime I get a chance to come up there, I go. So we would definitely make a trip up there to come to see y'all.
Awesome.
We still have to make a trip down to Del Rio, and so our goal is to actually make a trip down to Del Rio, and then on our way back we start hitting wineries.
There you go.
So that way we can beeline down and then work our way up. So we may have to put you on that list of
good
on the
plan.
way back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
More than welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming out here and seeing us, talking to us.
How can they get a hold of you guys?
Yes.
What's your website?
Okay, our website's whisperpathcellars.com. Just go to the website. You can purchase wine online. You can schedule tastings by appointment online. It's got information about all our wines.
Awesome. We appreciate your time on here. Thank you for coming.
you bet.
Thanks for this. I love this. It makes me want to have some risotto tonight, maybe, possibly.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to let you go so you can go do your event tonight or today, and we will talk to you all later.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much, Jesse.
You bet.
Okay, welcome back everybody to We Know Texas Vino. So again, we are like literally train rolling this thing around today, drinking as much wine as possible because we have several bottles we have to get through today for our sponsors. And so we have two amazing people today sitting here with us. We just actually literally talked about the Texas A&M Evermore with Amit and Bob Landon. Well, just so happens we have the person who actually grew those grapes sitting right here in front of us from Cicada Ridge Vineyard.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. So, Erwin, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what was your name again? So you're
Hope.
Hope. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Hope and Erwin.
Hope and Erwin are here to talk about, first off, we want to talk about the Evermore wine because literally we just talked about it. So we're going to go ahead and tell some stuff about it.
Well, the Evermore is basically from the Walker varieties that were bred, I guess, over the last 15 years. They went on the market green about 5 years ago, and we'd been growing vinifera. Pierce disease killed everything in East Texas, so we decided to do all Pierce disease resistant. We heard about Walker, and we couldn't wait for rootstock, so we got green plants and planted them, and they're phenomenal grapes.
That's the first time I've actually drank a Andy Walker varietal before, and I'm actually really impressed with it. And, coming up as a winemaker, a grape grower myself, I'm looking at doing that myself.
Well, I got to tell you, this particular variety is called, the name is the Caminari Noir.
Uh-huh.
Incredibly prolific grape.
Okay.
We're getting 3 clusters per shoot. The nodes are close together.
Wait a minute. You said 3 clusters per shoot?
You should see the pictures he just showed.
Those are freaking, are they huge, like handful huge?
Yes.
The clusters
Yes.
are phenomenal.
Pull that picture out.
Sure. We're getting 2 to 3 per shoot. The nodes are close together. 40 pounds per plant in the 5th leaf.
Dude, you should see the pictures. Where do you see it?
Holy cow.
Okay, you can't see
so
these people.
who is that? No.
That's a nymph in our vineyard.
Those are huge clusters. Holy cow.
They are. They're beautiful.
For our listeners out there who don't understand grapes and grape clusters, so a lot of shoots will produce 1, maybe 2 clusters on a shoot, but
Yes.
for them to produce more than that, and big ones, holy cow, that's amazing. Holy, whoa. I'm going to grab that. Hold on, I'm going to put this up on the camera.
Yeah.
And you can scroll through there and see a couple of the other clusters. They're really nice grapes.
That cluster. Look at that cluster there. And again, we're drinking this Evermore from Texas A&M specifically, but Erwin is growing this at his vineyard at Cicada Ridge, correct?
Yes.
That is amazing. So, with that all being said, so what are y'all doing here?
You know, we've been growing grapes in East Texas for 22 years, and finally decided that we had more than we could drink. So we're doing the Bluebell. We drink all we can, we sell the rest.
Right. That's great. So, Andy, tell us what we're drinking right now first.
So we just finished the Evermore, as we just talked about. So now we're jumping to one of my favorite varieties. It's called the Turaldigo. In this particular case, it is Kerrville Hills, and the grapes are from Pepperjack Vineyards up in the High Plains. This is a 2020 vintage. Winemaker, of course, is John Rivenball. And so I want to kind of let these two winemakers that are growing these Walkers. What do y'all think of this right now? This Turaldigo.
You know, it's got a really, really nice nose. The finish is kind of long, and the tannins are pretty full. I would say that that would go good with a cut of red meat.
I think so too, and actually I get a little jamminess on it. You know, right off the bat, a little jamminess, and I'm like, man, I kind of want a piece of toast now.
Nope, there's some toast.
Right,
Oh,
there's
look, we
some
got
toast.
right there. How did that show up all of a sudden?
Your mama.
Oh man, so yeah, that's amazing. I've drank Turaldigo, and I actually like to call it Talladega Nights.
Oh, boy.
When I actually first saw it, I thought it said Talladega, and I'm like, who's making Talladega wine? And then I realized it was Turaldigo. But see, I'm Texan. We don't enunciate things properly.
We say them the right way.
Yeah, we enunciate them the right way with the Texas accent.
Yeah, you ought to hear us speak Shakespeare.
Oh wow!
So back to you guys and your vineyard. So tell us where you are. Where are you located?
We're south of Sulphur Springs in Como, little farther out in the woods. Yep.
So if you were to drive between Dallas and Texarkana on Interstate 30 and break down, you would break down right at our vineyard.
Really?
So when you get your car fixed, you can go have a glass of wine.
That's actually a good marketing idea. Go out there and throw some spikes on the road.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I don't think the TABC would like that.
And I don't think the DMV would like that either.
and tell us what you're doing out there. What is y'all's favorite thing? What's going on?
You mean with the
With the
grapes?
vineyard? Yes.
Just finally getting a variety that is really, these varieties were tailor-made. They were bred for the weather in East Texas.
Really?
It's humid. There's bugs.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're going to start an AVA called the worst place in the world to grow grapes. But what we think is that if we can grow a grape that will survive out there, it will reach out of the glass and grab you. And that's what these varieties do. We're having a lot of fun with it.
Yep, that's awesome. My folks here are actually in East Texas also, out by New Somerville. Sure. And they've got 5 acres that we're going to work on turning into a vineyard. And what we're thinking of actually doing is Blanc de Bois, because they're Pierce disease resistant. And then we're going to chop them up, and we're going to do what we want.
We're growing Blanc de Bois, have been for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
They're fantastic. Fantastic.
Did you say 20 years?
I've been growing grapes for 22 years.
Wow.
And so when did Cicada Ridge come about?
About 2 years ago, we realized that when we finally got some prolific varieties and we expanded the vineyard, that we just simply couldn't drink all that wine, not with these kind of grapes.
Right.
Not with that.
No, you can't.
As prolific as they are, so we're like, okay, well, maybe we ought to share it with our neighbors. And the
How well
neighbors
do you
like
think it would do in other areas, other ABA areas?
I was going to say, if you said jelly, I was going to be upset at you.
I actually think these probably would do good in just about any area. I mean, they're hardy enough to grow in that humid environment. They'll grow anywhere.
Can they handle the cold, you figure?
We had that bad freeze 2 years ago.
Right,
we did have some of the younger plants split. The Blanc de Bois took it on the chin as far as some freeze damage. These things held up well.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, by the way, the whites on these walkers are phenomenal. We've got one called an Ambulo Blanc.
Yeah.
It's got a honey butter nose, and a honey butter finish. And it's dry as a bone. It tastes like you're drinking honey.
That is crazy.
It's amazing.
That is crazy. I may have to talk to y'all
How
later.
soon we're going to go down there?
We'll be there 5 minutes ago.
You're more than welcome to come.
We may have to talk later because I'm still like an aspiring winemaker myself, and so I want to do a whole bunch of different varietals and stuff. And so, I may have to talk to y'all later. Come and get maybe a couple of pounds.
Well, we got the Blanc de Bois. We've got the Walker varieties. We even have an experimental vine from Florida A&M that's Pierce disease resistant.
Okay.
It's called a Blanc de Soleil. It's an interesting grape. It blooms red. It has oval grapes, loose clusters. It crushes the color of an orange push-up, and it smells like hard candy.
It's beautiful.
Okay, give me just a second. My brain is kind of processing.
Poetry in a bottle there, sir.
I know. I tapped into every aspect of the brain.
I know. You just hit every sense right there. I'm like, okay, I'm getting an orange push up here. And
Right.
That's amazing. And, I tell you what, one of the things that I find intriguing every time I talk to a new person who grows grapes is what they're growing. Because everybody grows Tempranillo, Cab Sauv, or Pinot Grigio, or Blanc de Bois, or whatever. But when you hear varietals that you've never heard before, and you're like, oh, really? Tell me more about this. And then you start talking about what this grape does and what it provides and what we get off of it. And you start thinking about it, it's like, well, maybe I don't want to do Tempranillo now. Maybe I don't want to do a Cab Sauv. Maybe I want to do something that no one else is doing, And
here you are.
Yeah.
Well, here's how we think about it. People said, you need to grow common varieties, or the wine snobs won't come drink your wine. Well, you know what? If you want a Pinot Noir, go to Oregon.
Yeah.
If you want a Malbec, go to Argentina. If you want a Cab, go to Napa or go to France. But if you want a Caminard Noir, or a Passante Noir, or an Ambulo Blanc, or a Commandante Blanc, or a Blanc de Bois, come to East Texas.
Right.
Because that's where we do it well.
Yep. And what's funny is that a lot of California wineries associate Blanc de Bois with Texas. In fact, actually, I listened to another podcast, and they all say, yeah, Texas grows Blanc de Bois perfectly. And I just want to reach through the phone, reach through the microphone and just grab one and strangle from it. No, we grow a bunch of stuff that's really great here. Blanc de Bois is just one.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think that's one of the reasons that Texas is a burgeoning wine state. We're the 5th largest producer, and I think we're going to end up being number one sooner or later.
Well, I know we had a gentleman come by yesterday, I think it was Andy, that he's from California, and he sells juice from California. Mm-hmm. And we got to talking to him, and he goes and explaining to the grapes here that are grown and stuff, and he was just baffled at what we were doing here. And sometimes it kind of makes me wonder why they don't know that. But sometimes some people are blinders, and they don't want to see. But when we got to talking to him and explaining what we do and what the stuff that we see and people are growing, he was really interested. And he actually is taking our podcast back now to California to let them hear us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was surprised. He tasted these wines here. Just one. I think he told us he was quitting drinking or something like that. Yet he sells grapes. But that being said, he says he's been really impressed. He brought some friends, and they couldn't believe California. How much good wine we have.
Yes.
And if they tasted this Walker,
yes,
it's going to blow them away.
Yes.
Well, I know there is a vineyard in California that grows one of them called the Passante Noir. And apparently it's making quite the hit. They're selling those things for about $70 a bottle.
Wow.
I definitely knew I was in the wrong industry.
You're in the right industry now.
Oh, yeah, I am now.
Yeah, they're just wonderful varieties, and they're a lot of fun to grow. And finally, we found something that in our little neck of the woods grows very well.
So, Hope, you've been real quiet over there.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Irwin and his work ethic?
Uh-oh. Now we're touching a little sore topic here.
Let me have another drink.
Wow.
You need a shot? We can go get you a shot at the bar.
Okay, that was too tough a question.
Well, when a couple starts a business or a winery or whatever, I mean, they do it together. It takes both of us and many others to make something really successful.
Yep.
So we're
what is your
investing.
job there? What would you say you do? What is your part?
She's the wine taster.
Oh.
By the pool.
Nice.
He's crushing, she's drinking.
Right. I back him up.
Okay.
I back him up.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
Well, she's the one that came by here yesterday talking about it. And then all of a sudden you just showed up. And
Well, I
this
came
has been
to
very serendipitous the way this kind of worked out.
Right.
And we just got through tasting that Evermore.
Yep.
Which is really amazing.
Yep, it is. That's awesome.
Well, I don't care what she said. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, man, that's
Well,
funny.
so far I would agree with her.
Yes.
I would agree with her. She's done good.
So we really appreciate y'all sitting here talking about us. So can you tell us, tell our listeners where they can find you online and where y'all can find them in, you said Sulphur Springs, right?
Actually, we're in a little town called Como.
Como, that's right.
Just south of Sulphur Springs. It's out in East Texas, like I mentioned earlier. If you drive on Interstate 30 between Dallas and Texarkana and break down halfway, you'll be in Sulphur Springs. We're 11 miles south of there.
You have an address for us, Hope?
I do. It is Cicada Ridge Vineyard, and we're at 2677 County Road 2324 in Como, Texas, and you can find us at cicadaridgevineyard.com.
So I'm gonna have to give you a little hard time now. Are you ready for this? You have to look at your old business card to find out what your address is.
Okay, so the biggest question that I always get is it Cicada Ridge Vineyard or Vineyards? And I just like to be absolutely sure that I don't add that S. Now I've messed it all up. It's single. It's single. There's not two of them. It's single.
Y'all listen to our podcast, correct?
Yes.
Is that a yes because I'm saying it? Or yes or you're just saying it just to get through it? So we love to laugh. Laughter is an essence. Just like wine. Wine's an essence of life. Laughter is an essence of life. And that's what we love about doing this podcast is we like to laugh. And we, trust me, where you are at the gala last night?
We were at the beginning of it, yes.
Okay. So obviously we love to laugh and we enjoy laughter. We love making people laugh. And, again, if you'll ever see me, even on my worst days, you'll always see me with a smile on my face. Why? Because people will always ask, why are you smiling for? But they won't ask you why you're frowning.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you
You're
what,
right.
I think God gave us wine because he loves us and he wants us to be happy.
Amen.
And we are. And I am.
Very happy.
Oh, man. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. I really do.
Love to hear it.
I can't wait to come out to y'all and actually sit down and do an episode with y'all. We are trying to focus more on East Texas this year.
Right.
Great.
We're looking on doing a lot of sponsors. So if you know anybody who wants to sponsor our podcast or even an episode or whatever, pass their information over to us. And we love what y'all are doing out there. We love that we know some newer stuff about the Andy Walker stuff. So we can't wait to come out.
The other thing that keep this in mind, how big is your tasting room?
It's small. It's small,
Okay,
but we have a lot of room outside too. So
here's the thing that we've started doing. We do these wine events where we do a comparison of Texas wine versus the world.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever it is, it may be fascinating to put together a wine tasting experience that we come down there. We kind of plan it out. It's a 2-month typically process to get a group of 20, 30, 40 people down there. And we taste and compare and blind, by the way.
Yes.
So no one knows what they're drinking, and then they can tell you, for example, that I think I'm drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa. Well, guess what? You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be
That's the fun part.
bring it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Absolutely.
We'll talk. Yeah, we'll definitely talk. So, guys, we're going to jump to the next bottle now.
Okay.
So we got people already lining up here that need to be on the show and stuff.
Yep.
And so y'all have a good trip home. Be safe going home.
Thank you.
And
you so much.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Appreciate you being
It's
here.
been a pleasure.
Yep, thanks.
Check.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another bottle opening and tasting of a Texas wine. And so it's noontime. So right now everybody's actually heading over to eat lunch. So we thought we would just do this real quick so we can talk about this bottle and then so we can go and grab a little bit of lunch as well.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Good. So how many wines have you tasted now?
I almost count after two.
Six wines already, and it's only noon 15.
It's like not crazy or what? And we still have more to go.
Wow. What kind of show is this today? Unbelievable.
You know, this is the show that Michael's missing.
Michael, sorry, Michelle, my bell, but you have missed one of the most amazing days. We did that evermore, and then having Cicada Ridge come out and talk about the exact same Walker grapes.
Yes, most definitely, yes. And you know, it's kind of crazy that we're sitting here doing this. A year ago, I never even imagined us doing this. And here we are a year now from doing our start of this podcast. Here we are at Twiga, broadcasting live and talking about Texas wine, sharing Texas wine, and just having an overall good time. And so we'll be posting pictures of all this on our Facebook page and also on our website, so y'all can go out there and relive all the moments that we have out here. So, but right now we want to actually share a bottle from Augusta Vin. It's a Montepulciano. So,
It is.
Andy, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Montepulciano, of course, as you know, is an Italian variety, but it seems to do, as I'm finding, more and more and more and more, that it does so well here in Texas. And my first time to try it, so let me pour a little bit of this wine in this glass, and take a little bit of a swirl. The nose, first of all, the nose is really amazing. The fruit is very pronounced.
Yes.
What is that? A little blackberry, probably?
Yeah, it smells like a little blackberry. Maybe a little hint of maybe blueberry, maybe.
Definitely, and you can tell by the color that you really. Oh, you know what? They haven't seen that bottle. Put that up there. Yep. He's going to put the bottle there. You can see what he's doing. It's a little on the red side, which tends to make it a little bit more on the acidic side typically. I'm not saying that's what it is because we're about to taste it. Wow. This is good. This is very good. I'm anxious to find out more about this wine. Unfortunately, the labels don't always tell you everything about it. We picked these wines up just from Thursday evening from Texas Wine Club.
And this actually, it's very easy to drink. It's not, heavy tannin. The finish on it is really nice and gentle on the palate. It's not jammy and it's not fruit forward. It's just like a perfect balance across the tongue.
It is very well balanced. Yeah. I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah.
Anxious to find out a little bit more about it. Apparently, it's Montepulciano. Scott Felder, the legendary builder from Central Texas, has made the estate worth visiting. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures of this place online, Will, but Augusta Van has one of the most beautiful tasting vineyard facilities I've ever seen.
I have not seen it, so I don't know.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's one of those places that, in my opinion, it rivals some places I've been to in California and as well as in Missouri. It's just beautiful.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of the wineries here in Texas, some of them that we've talked to, actually they mimic some of the wineries that are over in California. So it's kind of cool to know that, But hey, we all are our own, right? So
we are, and I'm getting hungry.
Yes. So, folks, we're going to step away for a little bit. We're going to actually have some lunch. So we'll probably be back in about 45 minutes. And we're going to have, wow, that is nice. Man, that makes me want to live there now. But we're going to go step away. We're going to have lunch. We're going to be back probably about 45 minutes. Yep. And then we're going to have 2 special guests coming in.
I'm excited.
That we're really excited about. And from my rumors that I'm being told, both of them have a special bottle for us.
The rumors are true. I've got both bottles. I picked up one. The other one's already. I've seen it.
No. This is one you haven't picked up yet.
Well, the Good Texan is also one of those special bottles.
Yes,
but that's the other fascinating. So we could have. Oh my God, 3 bottles.
We might have 3 bottles to be drinking on the show.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. So we're going to have to end up changing this podcast to, instead of We Know Texas Vino, We Know Texas Alcoholics.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh
so
my
guys,
God.
we're going to step away for a little bit. We love y'all guys a lot. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll be back in just about 45 minutes.
Sounds good. See ya.
White spiller.
So everybody, welcome back to another bottle tasting of wine here at We Know Texas Vino. We have privileged here to have KK or Krista Hartman from Red River Production, and then on top of that we have Chris Hornbaker from Eden Hill to join us. Now, we get to have the privilege to drink one of Chris's wines that he provided for us. Now, as y'all just saw on camera, we just had a massive accident.
It wasn't massive, silly. It was a minor snafu.
It just wants to come out of the glass. So.
It
I know, it's alive, So it's awesome to have y'all here at the same time,
Chris lost his glass.
What?
I thought he was getting a glass.
That was my glass.
Okay.
You spill my wine?
Yes. I was jealous. I wanted some for myself.
So real quick, before we get started, Chris, can you tell us what we are drinking right now?
Yes, this is Eden Hill's new red blend called the Good Texan. And there's a great story behind that name that I'll share with you guys.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the Good Texan, originally I grew up in Austin, in Round Rock, just outside of Austin. And when I was a teenager, I was into playing blues guitar.
Okay.
I loved to play blues guitar, listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan, listen to his band Double Trouble, all the greats. And of course, this was in the 80s. And my guitar teacher said, you know what? Let's have you go down and listen to a lot of the great blues players, and you really just sit down, listen to them, hear them, see how they play. And I said, how am I going to get into the clubs? I was like a teenager. So he had friends who were bouncers, and the bouncers would let me into some of the clubs.
Uh-huh.
And of course, they would put the black X on my hand, so everything was fine. Everything
Right.
was up and up. But one night, I went down to a club in South Austin. It was on this kind of gravel parking lot. It was like in the middle of nowhere. And I walked into the club, and the bouncer said, "Hey, Chris, we've got a great musician for you to listen to tonight."
Okay.
And it was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Amazing.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was before he passed away in the obviously the helicopter accident. And they played incredible music that night, and then I became a huge, obviously, Stevie Ray Vaughan fan.
Right.
And I believe that Stevie Ray Vaughan and his brother Jimmy Vaughan, they wrote a song called "The Good Texan."
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so I
awesome.
thought to myself, if I ever get a chance, I would love to be able to use, or at least to reference that kind of experience. And becoming a winemaker, I said, you know what? It's time for us to come up with a new red blend at Eden Hill.
Uh-huh.
And I thought maybe this is the time that I could use something called the Good Texan.
Ah.
Doesn't your own plates have this on there?
Yes, so that's actually my license plate.
That's not your car, though, right?
No, it's not my car.
Not yet.
I wish that was my car.
I was going to say, if that was, I'm going to have to come and take a ride with you. You know, that's the land yacht right
I
there.
think you need to get one and park it at the winery.
We have been looking for a 1976 Cadillac Eldorado to put Longhorns on.
Okay, so I had a 76 Buick Landau.
Oh,
pretty close to that.
That is, yeah, that's very close.
That was a two-door version of that.
But the Good Texan.
The
So,
Good
you were
Texan.
saying-
Yeah, so as you know, there's also the Cadillac Ranch in Texas.
Yep.
Classic sculpture
Yep.
out near Marfa. And we thought, what a great combination, right? Let's make a Texas wine. Let's call it the Good Texan. And let's reference those Cadillacs from the Longhorn Ranch. And let's also kind of play off the song The Good Texan
Right.
from Stevie Ray Vaughan and his brother Jimmy Vaughan. So
That is awesome.
if you're out there, Jimmy Vaughan, still listening,
I love Jimmy Vaughan.
Should we tag him in this pod?
please do.
He does such a great show.
So tell us what is in your Good Texan then.
So the Good Texan is a quintessential Texas blend. It's Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Petit Verdot, layered with Tempranillo.
Okay, so I'm just going to say what I have just visioned in my head. So you have a bed here, and you take all these grapes, and you lay them down in there in the bed, and you get them all nice and snuggly, and then you just layer the last top of grapes on top of them, and they're all like nestled in, and you just smash them all together real slowly. I mean, literally, that's what came to my head when you said layered.
Layered on top.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that now in slow motion, Will.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I will have to say this, though.
The visuals.
It's kind of crazy when Andy was holding the bottle a while ago and he was kind of moving it a little bit. It actually looked like the clouds were actually moving in the photo.
Yeah, so
That's the wine talking.
He's only been drinking since 10.
Just because I've been drinking since 10 o'clock.
Well, I do have to give a shout out to my friend and graphic designer Carlos Seckler. He owns a graphic design company in Dallas.
Okay.
And I came to my friend Carlos and I said, Carlos, on this label, this is called the Good Texan. I have to have a Cadillac Eldorado with Longhorns on the front. And he needs to be driving down a dusty Texas road with a big Texas sky in the background. And he said, we can do this. Let's do this.
Awesome.
So he actually used AI, artificial.
What happened?
Oh, that was the AI coming into the conversation.
It was. You said AI.
I said AI. And
They're listening.
The song went up. The AI is listening to
It
us
popped.
right now. So he used, you all right?
Yeah, what happened?
He got zapped.
He got zapped.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he used AI to generate the Cadillac and the Longhorns, and then he did his own graphic design magic, his artistry, and he pulled the entire image together
Nice.
from several different photographs. And so he designed the label for us. Carlos Seckler, you've got to check him out. Carlos Seckler is fantastic. He's one of the best graphic designers in Dallas.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, and so he came up with the label for us. As well, the label actually speaks to something that's really good to know as well. So in our tasting room, which is north of Dallas, in a little town called Salina, it may not be a little town for much longer.
Right.
It's growing every day.
Yes.
I have to tell you, so many customers would come into our tasting room and say, and I'll, of course, be honest and say, they would go, you know, I expected the wines not to be good.
Wow.
Because they are Texas wines.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
I sat next to someone that had
Again,
that
the
same
AI has said-
expectation last night.
Did you have that same expectation?
Yep.
So one of the reasons why we called this the Good Texan is because every single customer that has walked up to me and said that has come away saying, I expected them not to be good, and I have not found a single wine on this wine list that is bad. Every single wine on this wine list is good. This is good Texan wine. So in honor of that as well, my customers' experience of figuring out that Texas wine can be fantastic wine, it can be good wine. We also came up with that name for this label, the Good Texan.
That's, I love stories hearing like that. It's just amazing to hear how people come up. And that's what the reason the whole podcast is all about, is that kind of stories right there.
So confirmation of that was we sent this wine into the San Francisco Chronicle wine competition. And we just got the news back that it won double gold
Yay.
in San Francisco Chronicle.
Wow. No surprise.
In Tempranillo leading blends. And double gold is the equivalent of roughly 96 points. At San Francisco Chronicle is one of the leading wine competitions in the country, so let's say it's the leading wine competition.
Most people would say that's the place.
That's the one. It went up against 5,500 other wines, and about 90 to 95% of those wines are California, West Coast wines. And so we got a huge kick out of seeing in San Francisco Chronicle a huge list of California wines, and right at the top was a wine named the Good Texan.
I love it.
It's reminiscent of 1976 when, California went up against the French, and now Texas is going up against the Californians, and we're winning in several occasions. And it's not the first time.
That's exactly how we felt.
That's awesome.
We saw that listed at the top of the San Francisco Chronicle competition list. We thought, this is our moment. This is a moment for us. It really says that Texas wines made from Texas grapes can compete against the best in California.
And where did you get your grapes from?
Honors.
Where did you get your grapes from?
Great question. So the blend is from 2 different vineyards. And I want to really highlight these vineyards because I want people to know about these folks.
Please.
They're growing great grapes. They're both located in the Texas High Plains, which is out near Lubbock, near Brownfield. The Tempranillo and the Cabernet, so the Tempranillo and the Cabernet Sauvignon, came from the David Dill vineyard. He named that vineyard after his kids. Joe Brugan, it's kind of a mashup of their first names. The Joe Brugan vineyard, so David Dill's family vineyard. That's the Tempranillo and the Cabernet Sauvignon. And then the Cabernet Franc and the Petit Verdot came from Reddy Vineyards in Brownfield.
Okay.
Right. Of course, a lot of us are familiar with Reddy Vineyards.
Yes.
Right? He's got that famous circle vineyard in the middle of his vineyard there, kind of formed into a circle. So the Cab Franc and the Petit Verdot in that blend are just a few blocks away from the circle in the middle of his vineyard.
Nice.
So it's really a combination of those two hardworking grape-growing families in the Texas High Plains.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, and as a hardworking Texas family not in the High Plains, in Central Texas, so oak?
Oak, yes. So for the oak, it's 100% French oak. So 50% new French oak barrels, and the other was 50% neutral French oak barrels. I do love French oak. I know that a lot of Tempranillos are aged in American oak, but I love that vanilla cream and that mocha that you get from French oak barrels.
So were they macerated together, separate? Were they each vinified separately? How'd that work out?
They were fermented in separate tanks.
Okay.
All throughout the vintage. So the Tempranillo, of course, came in first. Of course, Tempranillo means little early one in Spanish.
Right.
So it came in first. That was followed then by the Cabernet Sauvignon, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot in kind of the middle of the vintage, but separated, fermented separately. And then they were blended after about a year in barrel. We then took them out of barrel, took different percentages, and we figured out that for us to make a wine that really speaks to Texas, if you're going to call something the Good Texan, it has to have a grape that is known in Texas as a wonderful wine grape to grow. And so we started as our base of Tempranillo. Right?
Yep.
But then I do love my French grapes. I love my Cab Sauvignon, I love my Cab Franc, I love my Petit Verdot, love Tannat. And so we took those grapes and said, let's give this a feeling of if Texas met France, what would that be like? And so that's what the Good Texan is.
Nice.
It's a blend where it's a bit more fruit forward from the Tempranillo. You get this big black cherry from the Tempranillo. But then the finish has this beautiful layer of the strawberry and the blueberry, the bell pepper, the brambleberry from the Petit Verdot and the Cab Franc. A bit of kind of rustic quality from the French oak, that tannin on the finish. So in a way, you get the best of both worlds. You get both the new world and the old world in this bottle of wine. I agree. Which is really kind of a story of Texas, because Texas was the first place that a vineyard was actually planted in the official continental U.S. out of El Paso. And so you've got this kind of combination of the old world and new world meeting up in Texas. And that's what the Good Texan blend is. It's new world and old world together.
And that grape was the Mission grape.
That was the Mission
Yes.
grape. That's very good.
It technically came from Peru, technically, and it came through Mexico.
Came from Mexico, yeah.
Yep, it was a Sacramento grape at the time.
Yes.
And matter of fact, they're doing a lot of stuff with that Mission still in Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
Baja.
And they are. And I think that there's a Mission grape grown in California that is the size of an acre. One vine. It's very old. I forget the actual location of it.
What? Okay, so.
And it's growing up
where
over
again?
the top. It's like the size of a tree.
What? Okay, so you said
It's
here.
inside.
Where is it located at?
It's in California.
Okay.
The Mission,
The largest Mission grape
The largest
vine, yeah.
Mission grape
Okay.
grown is in
Look it up that way.
California.
Pretty cool.
Because I know there's one here in Texas.
Oh.
It's over there in Newcastle, Texas. And actually, Michael Cook had to go out there and help prune it because it was getting so out of hand that they were actually going to chop it down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
And it's at the old fort there in Newcastle, Texas. Okay. And I remember as a kid playing around it, and they actually it's muscadine, so it's not Mission grapes, but it's actually I think muscadine grapes or muscat grapes.
That's good. I think it was.
Yeah.
I see.
So it's really large. In fact, actually, there's pictures online of how large it is.
They grow to a huge size.
Yes.
So we also have here Krista Harmon. What did you think about that Good Texan? Just kind of your perspective.
I love the Good Texan. And I have not put those grapes together before, just because it hadn't occurred to me to bring the French and the Spanish together. But I love it. It's delicious. It's really smooth. It honors Tempranillo, but it honors all your Frenchies. Real nice.
That's something, too, as well. I appreciate talking about bringing French and Texas together. Texas has a very unique place in that it can actually experiment with different types of blends that other folks have not tried yet. Texas being a young wine region, the world is our oyster, basically, in terms of our blends.
Yep.
You see blends of Tempranillo and Tannat. You see blends of Tempranillo and Ionico, and all kinds of different new and old world blends being created in the state. And that also speaks to what the Good Texan is, right? The Good Texan is kind of saying to the world, Texas is a new wine region. We can come up with brand new blends that other folks haven't tried before, but that have a uniquely Texas style.
Right.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to have to say this about Chris. Chris, I love listening to you speak.
Oh, thank you.
You have this very soft, gentle, calming spirit, and even though I'm being frustrated over here because we've had some technical issues, we're still recording this, actually being recorded, but it's not being streamed right now. But I'm all frustrated, but I'm listening to Chris, and I'm like, it's all going to be okay now.
What is it that Matthew McConaughey says? It's all right.
Because he needs a little bit of calm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's I'm not going to lie. This whole event has been very stressful for me because this is something new for us. This is a total new adventure for us to go into, and this is the path that we want to go into because we get to showcase what y'all do in this Texas wine industry here in Texas, because we want to inspire the next generation like me of wine and grape growers. wine and winemakers and grape growers. We'll get this right here a second, but I mean, again, it's amazing. Even when we come out and do your episode, you inspired me to make wine in clay pots, right? I've actually got somebody I'm talking to right now to actually we were sitting out there drinking your rosé, and I've actually, you were talking about how old world wines were made in clay pots and stuff like that.
Yes, buried in the ground.
Yep. And so I've actually found somebody that will hand make me my clay pots. They're not going to be very big. I mean, I'm not going to make several hundred gallons, but big enough to make, maybe 2 or 3 cases, nothing major, and they're going to hand make these for me specifically. They're already looking up all the specs to do it. And again, they're going to hand turn them for me. And is that not awesome?
That's great.
That's exciting.
I feel encouraged that I had a part to play.
Oh yeah, everybody here that I've talked to that's a winemaker, everybody has had some sort of inspiration to my winemaking. Now, Krista, on the other hand, she's had quite a bit. Even slapping me in the back of the head. She's slapped me in the back of the head a couple of times. She goes, "Why did you do that?"
Mama Krista.
Maybe I did.
But I love Krista. She has also helped me out so much trying to learn this. I'm so much of a hands-on learner, so she gave me my first grapes to make wine. She told me how much my wine stunk.
I did not.
Okay, you said a little bit nicer than that.
I think I did.
I gave you a conscientious caution on your pH. That's what I gave you.
You said, Will, don't do that again. But no, everybody, I love how everybody, this is not for me. This is, how each one of y'all influence the next person making wine. Because I know, Krista, you got influences in this.
Right there.
I know.
I have his old 100-liter stainless steel tank in my winery. His baby.
Oh, wow.
100-liter stainless steel.
Wow,
Yeah.
Look at you go. So, enough about me.
So let's segue into what we're doing here with Krista. So the second glass I just poured for you here, Chris, that is Krista's, this one. It's she brought us a little sample from her 2022 vintage. And,
Well, first, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Oh, they're going to cheers without me?
Hey, you're the one that just downed your
wine. You can't cheer on
wine.
an empty glass. That's like sacrilege.
Okay, keep talking. No,
All right, sorry.
We're fine.
So Chris is going to tell us about, well, let me tell you
Don't
what
worry,
it is.
folks. The
This
dead air is only us pouring wine.
That's right. Red River Wine is the name of the wine. It's 2022 Vino Tinto. Hartman Vineyard, Texoma AVA. 29% Merlot, 29% Syrah, 22% Tempranillo. How do you like my accent?
I love it.
19% Garnacha, and 1% Graciano. Aged in 5 months in new French oak barrels. So now we have the winemaker here. Go.
Yes.
So, similar to what Chris was saying, I fermented these all separately, but they're all grown in my small vineyard. I'm losing my microphone, sorry. We are 35 minutes door to door to Eden Hill. And lots of inspiration from your Tempranillo over the years, and spent some time in Spain, Rioja specifically, 10 days. Learned a lot about patience from the folks in Spain, and wanted to make a blend because I fell in love with Graciano in Spain. And every Reserva, pretty much, that we tried, or Gran Reserva, was not just 100% varietal. It was a blend of something. And we've noted that in our travels to Bordeaux and our travels to Italy. The blends really make a huge difference. And so I named it Vino Tinto to bring some honor to what I learned in Rioja. And frankly, I was out of containers. And following the example of Divine White or Divine Red, when you said it's just what God gave me and it all went together, that's what happened.
That's
I was
amazing.
tired of watching carboys sitting there waiting for me to do something with them, and I had this 49-liter new French oak barrel just waiting for me to do something. So the Merlot, the Syrah, and the Garnacha all went in there. And Anthony Mosley had cautioned me not to leave it in too long because it's a small space and it will extract the oak quickly, and it sure did. In fact, Andy was with us the day we took it out of the oak and tried it, and then made the decision that the Tempranillo and Graciano, living in stainless steel in your old tank, needed to go into that blend because the oak was pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful.
So we cut that in there later.
That's really good.
There's only going to be 6 cases.
Oh.
So
Wow.
it's going to be very exclusive.
So that means you
Only the
put me down
Founders
for a
Club
bottle.
gets it.
Yeah. What's that?
Because it definitely put me down for a bottle.
Okay.
Because that wine
You
has
like
a
it?
great texture. yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad you like it.
right away. The first
That's
thing
like the highest compliment I could get right now.
Well, right away, the first thing I smelled was like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop smelling it because I love the smell of fresh dark chocolate. You're going to that chocolate factory up here around the other side of the border of Texas.
No.
Yeah, there's a little chocolate factory right up there on 35. And man, let me tell you something. You can go in there and smell that fresh dark chocolate they're making, and it's just a great smell. And that's the same smell I've been smelling now.
Thank you. I like chocolate and berry together. So, in making a dessert or something like chocolate and raspberry together, almost like Chambord in something, I really, really love that.
That is so good. I really do like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I got to be a part of that only because I
He
was
did.
a big harvester of these vines for the last 7 years, 6 years, whatever it's been. It's been a long time
You
now.
probably pruned most of these vines.
Yeah, it's been
You put some of the vines in the ground.
Wow.
pretty much everything. Everything to do with your winery, I've pretty much been a part of it, some form or fashion, and I think it's been fantastic. And to watch this come out, I feel like a grandpa again. I love being a grandpa. So
That's funny.
You're a good grandpa. No, Andy has spent a lot of time in the Hartman Vineyard doing anything. He'll just
Yeah.
say, put me to work.
That's nice.
And I'm trying to honor the tried and true rule not to burn out your friends when you're developing a vineyard and a winery, but he says I haven't burned them out so far.
I don't get burned out. I'm a horticultural major.
Yes, you are.
I got a background in landscaping, design, all that stuff. So, no, my grandpa was a farmer in Alvarado, Texas, and he's blessed me with that green thumb, or whatever you want to call it. And I love it. I love working out. Matter of fact, Sherry Richter, I was telling her that I've been helping you, and she says, well, so what are you going to offer to help us? So I said, well, okay, we'll see.
I first met Sherry Richter helping at a harvest at Eden Hill.
How about that?
Connections.
So, did Sherry talk to you Wednesday night or Thursday night? Or Thursday?
I'm sure she has, but there's been so much going on.
Yeah.
So she said that you had a rosé that you was going to start bottling on Monday.
Yes, a rosé. Yes.
And she said she was going to try to convince you to bring a bottle for us to try.
Oh, I didn't.
You forgot that part of the conversation.
Oh, well, we're going to have a conversation with her now.
Yeah, well, she's here.
Well, all I have to say is I still remember that rosé like it was yesterday. Like that. Actually, the way I described it at the table, you remember what I said? That when I just looked at it, it just made me happy just to look at the bottle because it was like gold red, like almost kind of like that rose gold color.
Yes.
I looked at it, and every time I would look at it, it made me happy. And I bought 2 bottles from you that day. I drank one of them, and I refused to drink the other one until somebody opened it up. I don't know who opened it up, and we started drinking it, and we were halfway through the bottle when I realized someone opened it, and I'm like, and that was it. That's all I had to say, you know.
Well,
So is it coming?
I've got good news for you because we're going to be bottling it on Monday.
Okay.
And this next version of our rosé, this next vintage, is even better than the previous version.
That's what I was
That's
hearing.
saying a lot. Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real incredible wine. I think the customers are going to love it. So if you guys would like to, I can definitely get you guys a bottle.
Of course we do.
You will never hear me say no.
Twist my arm. So, what you may not know, Chris, is we started this new thing called the Wine Experience. We do vineyard-driven wine experience where we do something from Texas and something from the old world.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we do blind, so people can, and it's been fascinating. Just the first one, at least in this group, was a complete hit. So Sherry pulled me aside and says, can we do something? So we'll be talking soon about putting an event together for your wine club and surrounding areas, and we'll be doing it at your place.
I would love that.
That'll be cool.
That would be fantastic.
We actually had a pretty good turnout on that, and I think we should do like a rosé blind tasting. I think
That'd
that
be
would be
fun.
fun.
That would be a real kick
That would be
because,
super fun.
As we said in the previous podcast, Texas's secret weapon is rosés.
That would be. So how many rosés do you offer right now?
How many rosés
Rosés?
do we offer?
You offer, yes.
We just offer one rosé
Okay.
right now, made from our estate vineyard there in our winery in Salina. It's a Tempranillo rosé, 100% Tempranillo rosé. But in the future, we're going to experiment with making a sparkling rosé.
Ooh, fun.
So if you want to do that, reach out to Elisa Christopher down in the Hill Country.
Okay.
In fact, actually, I got a bottle of her sparkling right here.
Oh, great.
She actually
He's
bought.
going to open it for us right now, I think.
I would be happy to
That
spill
would be amazing.
I would be happy to spill
Okay.
that on all of us.
Fine. Go ahead,
Please,
open it up.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Hey, Mom, can you grab the bottle of sparkling out of there?
Quick, KK,
Go
tell us
go
about
ahead,
your
sparkling in there.
happy accident.
Well, the happy accident was just exactly that, and it is 100% Tempranillo as well, and it ended up to be a rosé that I wasn't intending it
Yes, go ahead,
to
open
be,
it.
but it's a rich colored rosé. I wanted to make it in the traditional sense of a rosé, but being a novice and an inexperienced winemaker, I let it sit on the skins too long and didn't press it, and it looked like Beaujolais Nouveau before it started.
So, you know what, Mr.
Am I in trouble or is she?
No, she's in trouble.
You can just go talk to her. Take off
We'll
the
talk.
headset for a
We'll talk to
second.
her. I'll talk to her in a minute.
Okay, so we're getting ready to do this.
Okay, so
Oh, that
all right,
was
so
so
let me,
discreet.
yeah, I was sitting
I
waiting
was
for it to
trying
pop.
to bypass by
So
Shoemaker.
let me explain to you about this sparkling here, okay? So she actually bought all the equipment from France that actually make the champagne there in France. So all the equipment they use, she has it here in Texas, and she's the only one that does that.
I think it's fantastic that she's doing it. I admire her for doing it.
She's using, I see, method champenoise, like the traditional method. That's exactly what we'd like to do with our sparkling rosé.
I think that would be
I will say reach out to her.
fabulous.
Definitely, I will definitely give Elisa Christopher a call.
Yeah, she even had a Malbec, and let me tell you something. That Malbec that she had, it was the most beautiful Malbec I've ever drank.
I'm going to try not to pour this on your mixing board.
Well,
Try not to, try not
I
to
tell you
spill
what.
again.
Why don't you hold it for me?
I'll have it doing over here. Yes.
I've been watching you with that wine glass over there, very nervous.
Oh, trust me, I'm not spilling nothing on this
Okay,
board.
it's elegant.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we got to actually really toast this up
Look
here.
at the mousse on this, first of all.
It's beautiful.
This is Texas. What do we know about this, Will?
This is actually all Texas, I believe.
It's Trebbiano.
Yeah, Trebbiano.
Texas High Plains.
Yeah.
100% Trebbiano.
From Pepperjack Vineyards.
Oh, cool.
Here's to
Awesome.
more successes for
Yes.
Eden Hill and for Red River Wines and Provisions.
And
Cheers.
for Elisa
Thank
Christopher
you.
for providing this.
Thank you so much.
That's
and
right,
we'll
Elisa
talk to you more
Christopher.
about that. A few seconds.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
Very clean.
Well done.
Oh, holy cow. Okay, so
That's fresh.
Texas
I like it a
juice.
lot.
Is that
yes,
correct?
that's Texas juice from
Nice.
Pepperjack Vineyards. Now, I love sparkling, but 9 times out of 10, I put cranberry juice in it, okay? But there's 2 sparklings that I do not do that with. And that's the one from Hilmy, his high white blend, sparkling. And now, this one. I will not do that.
I
It's a
vote that
beautiful
you
example.
don't do it.
Well, the video's not working right now. Yeah, that noise you heard was the video crashing. Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to show you all a picture. Take a look. We'll have them on our website soon, and
yeah.
you go to our gallery, and you'll be able to see that.
Yeah. So that is amazing. Y'all feel special because I wasn't going to open this up.
Then why did you put it in the cooler just waiting for someone to take it?
To keep it cool. You're supposed to keep it cold.
It's got that great, like, sliced apple.
It does.
It does. Yeah. It's amazing. But you know what? You are my good friends, and I share.
Very
Thank
nice.
God
We
y'all are
appreciate
here.
it.
I'm not his good friend yet.
And he's not a good friend yet. Even though he's been drinking wine with me all weekend long.
You guys are doing great.
Thank you. We thank y'all for coming out here. Thank you for
Thanks
doing
for
everything y'all
having
do
us.
for the
Thank
Texas
you,
wine
guys.
industry. Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll talk about doing an event out there. Well, I'll actually let Andy take care of all that. We'll figure it all out. So y'all have a good day. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day out here. And I guess we're here for another hour and a half.
Good.
Oh, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, we're almost done.
We only have 5 more wines to open.
Yes.
So help yourself.
Yeah, help yourself to a full glass. So
Yeah, thanks, guys.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good
Love
one.
the information.
Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.